Caitlin Clark and the number 22 have been almost inseparable for years. From breaking records at Iowa to stepping into the spotlight as a rookie with the Indiana Fever, that jersey number has become part of her basketball identity and brand. When people think of Caitlin Clark in women's basketball, they picture that number 22. But as she reports to training camp with the U.S. women's national team, that familiar number will not be on her back. And she is not the only one stepping away from it. According to the official USA Basketball training camp roster for the December 12 to 14 sessions at Duke University, the number 22 is completely unused. Not by Caitlin Clark, not by A'ja Wilson, not by Cameron Brink, not by Sonia Citron, not by Veronica Burton. All of them wear number 22 with their WNBA teams or at other levels. None of them will be wearing it with Team USA at this camp. In a league where jersey numbers are tied tightly to personal brands, this detail has jumped out to fans. It has led to a wave of speculation that the players may have quietly agreed to leave 22 alone during camp, at least for now. For Caitlin Clark, the change is especially noticeable. USA Basketball lists her in jersey number 17 for the training camp. It is a sharp departure from the number she wore throughout her rise at Iowa and in her rookie season with the Indiana Fever. For a player whose college career and early WNBA journey have been marketed heavily around that 22, seeing a different number next to her name on a Team USA roster is jarring. Complicating matters is the uncertainty around how much Clark can actually do at camp. She has been dealing with a groin injury that sidelined her after July 13. That setback cut her rookie WNBA season with the Fever down to just 13 games before she was shut down. As a result, there are real questions about how active she will be at national team practice as preparations begin for the 2026 FIBA World Cup. Team USA training camps are about more than just drills. They are early previews of future roster chemistry. They give coaches a chance to see which combinations work, who adjusts well to new roles, and how stars from different WNBA teams blend together. Fans often look to these camps for clues about who might make the final World Cup and Olympic rosters. That is why the handling of jersey numbers is getting so much attention. Typically, fans expect to see national team players wearing the same digits they use in the WNBA or something close to it. Instead, what we're seeing this time is a reshuffling that looks intentional and possibly symbolic. The official camp list shows several well-known number 22 players assigned completely different numbers. Aaliyah Boston, Clark's Indiana Fever teammate and the 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year, will wear number 30. Cameron Brink, a rising star and one of the most talked about young bigs in the league, will wear number 33. Veronica Burton is listed with number 23. Sonia Citron will wear number 20. Caitlin Clark is down for number 17. Meanwhile, the number 22 slot is blank. No one has claimed it. There are several possible explanations, and USA Basketball has not announced any official reasoning. In some past international competitions, jersey number options have been limited by FIBA rules, especially at youth or specific tournament levels, leading to players shifting to new numbers. In recent years, those guidelines have become more flexible, but national teams still often keep consistent internal traditions with numbers. In other cases, when multiple players share the same number in their professional leagues, they're forced to negotiate, trade, or give up that number when they come together on a single roster. Veterans might get priority, or players may defer to each other out of respect. Sometimes the final choices are practical, whatever is available when paperwork is due. But the fact that this particular group of number 22 players has collectively moved away from the number, leaving it completely unused at camp, has fans wondering if there's a deeper meaning. It could be a sign of an unspoken agreement among them to avoid any conflict over the number. It might also reflect a shared understanding that when you put on a Team USA jersey, your WNBA identity is not the top priority.
At the national team level, roles can be very different from what players are used to in the WNBA. A primary scoring option on her pro team might come off the bench for Team USA. A star might become a defensive specialist or spot-up shooter in this environment. Everything is organized around what gives the national team the best chance to win gold, not around individual brands. For some players, switching jersey numbers is a small but symbolic way of embracing that shift. For Caitlin Clark, stepping into a USA Basketball camp wearing number 17 instead of number 22 could represent exactly that kind of reset. She is not the face of the franchise here. She is one of many guards trying to earn a long-term place in the USA system. She is sharing the floor with Olympic champions, MVPs, and international veterans who have already proved themselves at the world level. Her injury situation adds another wrinkle. Because she was sidelined after July 13th and logged only 13 games in her first WNBA season, coaches will have to evaluate not only where she fits schematically, but also how her body is responding. They will likely be cautious about how much she does physically in this camp. For Clark, just being on the roster is a step forward, but how much she scrimmages, runs full contact, or participates in back-to-back sessions remains an open question. For Indiana Fever fans, seeing both Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston on the USA Basketball training camp list is still a big deal. It is a sign of how fast the Fever's young core is rising inside the league and now onto the international stage. Boston wearing 30 and Clark wearing 17 in this context reminds everyone that even young stars must adapt to new environments when they enter the Team USA structure. Cameron Brink's presence at camp adds another layer of intrigue, especially for followers of the WNBA's next generation. Brink, like Clark, has been at the center of a surge in interest around women's basketball. Her decision to wear number 33 at camp, instead of her usual number 22, fits into the broader pattern of players stepping away from their typical identities in this setting. The same goes for Sonia Citron and Veronica Burton, both talented guards who normally wear number 22 with their pro or college teams, but will be in different numbers here. If you zoom out, the timing of this camp sits right in the middle of several ongoing storylines in women's basketball. The 2026 FIBA World Cup is scheduled for September 4th through 13th in Germany. That tournament will demand heavy commitments from players and national federations. At the same time, the WNBA is still waiting on its next collective bargaining agreement, which will influence everything from salaries to scheduling to how long players are required or allowed to play overseas or for their national teams. The overlap between the WNBA calendar and major international tournaments has been a major talking point for players and fans. Training camps like this one are part of that balancing act. They have to be slotted into windows that make sense around WNBA seasons, overseas commitments, and rest periods. That reality is part of why Clark's health and the general workload for all WNBA players at this camp is such a major topic heading into these sessions at Duke. The current USA Basketball training camp roster is a blend of established stars and rising talent. You have Olympic veterans who already know what it takes to win gold. You have players like Juju Watkins, a collegiate phenom drawing big attention as a future WNBA and USA star. You have young pros like Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Cameron Brink, who are expected to lead the next era of WNBA basketball. Putting all of them in the same gym for a few days offers a snapshot of where the women's national team may be heading over the next cycle. For fans, seeing Caitlin Clark on that list is a reminder that the next chapter of her career could include not just WNBA playoff runs with the Indiana Fever, but also World Cup and Olympic appearances in red, white, and blue. It also reinforces how fast she has moved from college standout to a central figure in almost every conversation about women's basketball, from jersey sales to TV ratings to national team projections. That is why the absence of number 22 is so noticeable. It feels like a small but meaningful shift in how we see these players. The WNBA era has elevated jersey numbers into personal brands. Kids want Caitlin Clark's number 22, Aja Wilson's number 22, Cameron Brink's number 22. Those numbers are on shirts, posters, billboards, and social media graphics. They are part of the marketing. But in a USA basketball setting, all of that fades a little. The flag on the front takes priority over the number on the back. The fact that an entire group of 22 wearing stars has collectively moved off that number for this camp can be read as a visual cue. This is a different lane. This is about the national team first.
Whether intentional or not, it adds another layer of interest to an already closely watched camp. People will not just be paying attention to who hits shots and who locks up defensively. They'll be watching how personalities blend, how roles form, which young players seem comfortable next to established stars, and yes, how these athletes choose to present themselves right down to their jersey numbers. For Caitlin Clark, the camp is an opportunity to show that she can adjust just as well off the ball as she can running the offense, that she can defend at a high level, and that she can operate inside a system where she is one piece of a larger machine rather than the sole engine. Wearing 17 instead of 22 is a small reminder of that role shift. For Aaliyah Boston, it is another chance to prove she belongs solidly in the Team USA interior rotation heading into 2026 and beyond. For Cameron Brink and Sonia Citron, It is a platform to show that their emerging games translate against the best in the country. For USA Basketball, this camp at Duke is the start of building a roster that can defend American dominance on the global stage in 2026. Evaluations begin now. Relationships begin now. Identifying who fits together and who responds to coaching now can pay off in Germany 2 years from now. And for WNBA fans who follow every detail, from contract negotiations to social media clips to what number a player wears, the strange disappearance of number 22 from the jersey list at this particular camp is one more compelling wrinkle. It might be nothing more than a quirk. It might be something players themselves talk about later as a quiet joke or a deliberate show of unity. Either way, it is a clear reminder of an important truth. When players step into the national team environment, they often redefine themselves. Their roles change. Their responsibilities change. Sometimes that process starts with something as simple as the number stitched onto the back of a jersey. As the December 12-14 camp at Duke tips off, all eyes will be on how this group of WNBA stars, college standouts, and future legends come together. Whether or not number 22 ever appears, fans will be watching what Caitlin Clark looks like in number 17 for Team USA, how Aaliyah Boston performs in number 30, how Cameron Brink handles number 33, and how players like Sonia Citron and Veronica Burton settle into their temporary identities. The numbers may be different, the uniforms may be new, but the stakes are familiar. Earn a spot, build chemistry, and help make sure the United States stays on top of women's basketball on the world stage.